up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel. More specifically, we are back with some more reaction videos today. And yes, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Still mostly stuffed up, but that's kind of been coming and going, basically. I didn't know the proper word to say. But anyway, we're not going to focus on that. We're not going to focus on me being sick. We're actually going to focus on just getting through today's video. And today, it's a special holiday request since technically Christmas has passed. But I figured, might as well get it ready for the new year that's coming up. And surprisingly, it's almost here. Just a couple more days, surprisingly. But anyway, today we are taking a look at a nostalgia critic reaction video, or a reaction request. I don't know why we're looking at a reaction video. I can't even talk today. But yeah, today we are taking a look at Doug's review on a very classic Christmas story that is honestly, personally, one of my favorite Christmas stories to listen to or, watch basically every year. And that, of course, is A Christmas Carol. And no, it is not the Muppets one, because I did that before, and unless you guys want me to react to that again, I think I already did that on my channel before, but you get the idea. But actually, we are taking a look at the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. Yes, the Disney one with the very terrifying motion capture that they decided to use for the movie. Yay! But honestly, I can't help but think that it's one of my personal favorites just because of Jim Carrey playing Scrooge. But personally, let's see what Doug has to think about it. So, let's not waste any time and dive right in. All right, and we are ready to begin. Now, I'm actually surprised. I actually kind of want to see what Doug thinks about this movie personally. Does he think it looks good or decent, or if he agrees that the motion capture is a little bit terrifying, like most people do agree on with this particular movie. But again, the story actually works pretty well with some parts of it. But anyway, we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to jump straight into the video. So, without further ado, let's dive right into Nostalgia Critic's review of Disney's A Christmas Carol. At least I think that's the full title of it. I forgot to do my countdown, but we're ready to start it anyway. I've really been kind of messing up on that lately. I really need to do the countdown a lot faster nowadays, don't I? Yeah, I really do. Oh, hopefully Bill actually makes a comeback in this video. I forgot about him. Apologies if my voice sounds different. Again, still stuffed up. I like this new intro. It kind of reminds me of those old school 80s music videos or whatnot.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. I've made no secret that one of my favorite stories of all time is A Christmas Carol.
Hey! One of my favorite stories too!
Film version. Everybody has one they like the most.
Not really sure if I can agree with that, because there are actually some very good adaptations of the story.
But make no mistake, everybody has
in more recent years, there have been really good adaptations of it.
So many times.
Yeah, the Mickey one was really good.
Still get something out of it. I think the idea is that clever and powerful, and one that sadly gets shit on quite a bit.
Oh.
Even if it is a little justifiable, is Robert Zemeckis. Oh, Zemeckis. The 2000s are doing you hard, aren't they? With his over-reliance on CG effects to a point where he created a motion capture studio thinking this was the future of film. You can't blame him for being excited about what he thought was a new way of storytelling. But while 3D animation has found a groove that audiences like, while still leaving room to experiment that artists like, Zemeckis kept his one style that was becoming very dated very fast. Christmas Carol.
Let me go ahead and clean my glasses a bit while this is going on, of course.
It looked like every other Christmas Carol that had been done before, just with Beowulf graffitied all over it.
Oh, how could we ever forget about the creepy Beowulf?
Literally in your face as it could be.
The ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future.
Well, yes, there are some moments
and
like
yet,
that.
with every, like, Robert Zemeckis movie, they always get that, like, trailer guy voice. I can't remember his name, but he always seems to be there for, like, a Zemeckis movie when it comes to, like, making trailers for it.
Almost like Zemeckis knew people thought it was going to be silly, so he borrowed a few pages from Hellraiser's
Oh,
script.
yikes.
I, of course, love a dark as hell Christmas Carol, but it needs to balance out and actually have me appreciate, you know, Christmas. While it's very clear and balanced mucks that up, along with some other seemingly obvious problems, I will admit, I do kind of have a soft spot for it. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. It doesn't all work in the end, but the scenes that do, I think, are worth checking out for any Christmas Carol stan like myself. So, let's take a closer look. This is Robert Zemeckis' 2009's Robert Zemeckis' A Christmas. Well, the film wants to throw you in hell right away. This opening of
Yeah,
dead
great way to start off any kid's story, or
is enough to make anyone
technically a
say,
kid's movie from Disney.
Dead. And knowing some of the awkward
As a
animation in this
doornail.
movie, it's a little cute. I don't know.
Let me actually scooch my chair back just a little bit.
Twisted touch, as the film almost says, all right, Christmas. We gotta work in some of that imagery here before we.
Yeah, plus there's also the fact they
Merry
can push
Christmas,
the fact that this movie was in 3D.
And we see Scrooge, played like I said before by Jim Carrey, talking to his nephew Fred, played by Colin Firth.
What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be so dismal? You're rich enough.
So Carrey is all right as Scrooge. For as cartoony as both his
Carrey
design
does
and
give
the
off a
animation,
really
I
good
like
Scrooge
Scrooge
performance in this
nowhere near
movie.
The most over-the-top Scrooge I've seen. Finney, Grammer, even sometimes Kane I associate as being more over-the-top than Carrey. He's actually much more reserved than you would imagine in this role. Okay, I'm not gonna say subtle, but for all the flashy camera work and whooshing through whatever to show off, these opening scenes can just rely on the acting alone.
If I were to dock you £0.50 for it, you'd think yourself ill-used. Yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
The issue is, Carrey is surrounded by actors who would make a much better Scrooge. Colin Firth, Gary Oldman, even Bob Hoskins. Oh my god, imagine Bob Hoskins as Scrooge. Okay, he's not the right age or weight, but I don't know, do what they did with Carrey with him. Change the image. Isn't that the whole idea of this animation? Because when these guys are acting, they're doing just that, acting. Carrey has to act, do an old man voice.
Yeah, to be completely honest, it was definitely seemed like it was hard for Carrey to pull off an old man voice and a British accent at the same time. But again, he found a way, and that's why I actually think his performance in this movie is actually pretty good. Surprisingly good, in fact, actually. Anyway, we're just actually going to move on from this because I had to deal with a message real quick. Yeah, I really do need to fix that for videos like this because it happens a lot, honestly. So we're just going to ignore that and just going to continue on from where we paused it at. Or at least edited that part out or anything. You get the point. Anyway, yeah. Really good performance and why I think Jim Carrey makes a really good Scrooge.
Okay, but it's just another filter he has to work through. On top of this,
Also, I may have to fix the lags in videos like later
Okay,
on when I start doing more reaction
It
videos.
is distracting when his entire supporting cast is much easier to find believable.
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Truth be told, I would have thought he'd be a better Bob Cratchit. I honestly think he could have knocked that role out of the park. Just imagine the Majestic, but not painfully trying for an Oscar.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this?
And yeah, I've talked about
That's actually a pretty good line.
animation a lot in this series. It's honestly hard to remember what I've said without repeating myself. All I'll say this time around is I think it looks better when it's hand-drawn. Because that's taking the complexities of human movement
And
reducing it
surprisingly,
down
with
to
hand-drawn animation,
how
you
much
could
of a
show
human
off
being
like
can
more
capture with
expressions
something
that
as
way.
simple as a drawn line.
But surprisingly, in later
Experiment
films that had
with
CG
This is trying to take all
technology,
the complex
specifically
movement,
video
lighting,
games
and
also
textures
who
of
had
real
that,
life, and make it
actually
look
was
like
able to
the
do
complex
that well with
movement,
motion
lighting, and
capture.
textures of real life. I don't know. I think I would have liked it better if they did it more like a painting. That would have been something a lot newer and challenged the eye much more. As is, it's basically Polar Express remastered. And you can hear my pros and cons on that in the other review.
Be here all the earlier the next morning.
So, okay, you know the drill. Scrooge gives Bob Cratchit, played by Gary Oldman, the day off, which causes him to celebrate in
Whoa!
a strange way. Did you like the way they
Oh.
animated the face of one of Shrek's babies on
Why? Oh, I think that's definitely a movie that people tend to want to forget about. Shrek 3 with the Shrek babies and everything. Oh, jeez. Yeah, honestly, I never really saw the reason why Shrek needed a sequel. Well, I can understand why, because people love the first movie so much, so it warranted a sequel, basically. Well, people wanted to see a sequel, but I don't really understand why there needed to be 2 more sequels, and for that matter, a 5th movie coming out. In fact, the 5th movie is... Oh!
sees the face of Marley
Well,
on
never
the door.
mind.
Again,
We're just
give them
continuing on
credit,
this then.
It really does take time to build up the suspense. Maybe a little too long.
Yeah, a minute later. They gotta set up their own ambience right now. The face he made when the bell chimed and it scared him.
Must go faster.
Yeah,
Thank you for that,
this wasn't
Ian.
The most popular thing ever written. I'd be more on the edge of my seat.
Also gonna
But I think most people
wipe
know
my
what's
nose
coming.
because, again,
It's all still a
super
house.
stuffed up. Oh, here we
There's The
go.
Room, also played by Gary Oldman. And yeah, I'll just say it. I really don't think this scene works.
Wow. Nice job, Doug.
I
You
don't feel a
upset
connection
Jacob
between him and
Marley.
Scrooge like they were old business partners. He's not really scary because of scenes of him spitting and whatever the
Ew.
hell this is.
Bad time. What's my business?
He just took
The clicking of the bottom jaw when it's ripped open. Ugh.
And the laughs just keep on coming.
Mm-hmm.
The definitive version, everybody.
My desert.
If he had more class.
What do you want with me?
Wow, that actually is a statement. Good job, Doug.
The only thing I was kind of digging was he didn't look at him at first, which gave an otherworldly feel that was kind of creative and welcomingly uncomfortable. But then he looks right at him the rest of the time, so I guess that's ruined. Can you see him or not? Carrie gets a cute laugh here and there.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
I'd rather not.
They legit make these other ghosts outside pretty
Yeah, again,
unsettling.
because Haunted Mansion.
That legit got a jump out of me in the theater.
Same here.
To our Uncanny Valley Museum pretty fast when Carrie plays the ghost of Christmas Past.
A solitary child,
Yeah.
hated by his friends.
Okay. First off, I didn't know that actually was Jim Carrey playing the character. Good on him for the vocal range. But yeah, that face just does not work for this character. I mean, it is an interesting design. I'm not going to deny that. A candle flame head for the Ghost of Christmas Past, but the face just doesn't work. And just his movements are just... Give credit to Carrie for providing the voice, though, actually. Definitely giving him like a raspy kind of
Okay.
voice. It kind of makes him sound very
His
otherworldly.
design is unique. Literally making him a candle is crazy clever. Carrie playing all the ghosts, I also think is really smart. They reflect different time periods of Scrooge, so making them look like Scrooge does actually match up. Why other actors play other roles, I have no clue, but I thought this was a good choice. The execution, though, good God!
Would you so soon put out with your worldly hands the light?
Of hell! He sounds like asthmatic-looking
Okay.
Charms, looks like Hades let his hair grow too long, and does a dance. I have no idea
Yeah,
why, just take
he can do
time
a
to
little
show
jig.
Do a little dance. Turn to the left. Turn to the right. 4 clicks this time.
Oh my gosh.
But a touch of my hand there.
If you get an erection that lasts more than 4 hours, you're welcome.
Okay.
Takes him back to when he was a little boy, and yes, when this movie wants to look beautiful, it can be exactly
Yeah,
that.
there is some
Just ignore
really
American
beautiful
Psycho as the
shots in
flame
this
from
movie.
Animaniacs. That's quite pretty.
Let's go on.
One of the best moments in A Christmas Carol for me. I love him alone in this classroom singing.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember liking this scene too because, again, definitely shows the ambiance and like the tone that the movie's trying to set for the story.
Also gotta say, even though I'd love to see him as Scrooge, Hoskins practically seems born to play Fezziwig.
He's just having a good time.
He hasn't been this happy since he heard Mario Brothers wasn't getting a sequel.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what the hell's going on here?
Oh yeah, they definitely know some witchcraft.
Were they like, well, Mr. Toad played him in the other Disney version, so let's have him hop around
That
like
is
a
true.
frog freshly castrated. What are the rules of this world? He meets up with... I just realized I don't think they ever give her a name in this version. And even though the
Well, later adaptations of the story actually name her
this
Belle.
one still flies by too quick. Again, even Daisy at least gets a line in the Mickey one. Which, wait a minute, I just realized she's gonna date his nephew after him?
Yeah.
Has replaced me.
It does lead to this nice touch with the candle, I'll admit I missed before. And
That is
arguably
actually
my
surprising.
favorite over-the-top Scrooge read. Carrie's been okay as Scrooge, but something about the way he says this line just cracks me up.
When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
I was a boy! Maybe in rehearsals that sounded chilling, but in the film, it sounds like Count Olaf showing off for his acting troupe.
Wow.
Imagine my surprise.
Honestly, I hate to bring this up, but two adaptations that I recently saw. Now, I did see a song version of this version. If anyone's seen the Scrooge movie on Netflix, the Christmas Carol, like the CG animated one, there is a moment that has a beautiful song in it that talks about how Scrooge felt about his love and how he literally lost her and how he would change it. That is one of the best Christmas songs we could ever ask for. And Star Kid, who did their own version of Christmas Carol this year, they brought it onto YouTube this year for Christmas. Surprisingly had another...
visually. And he tries putting him out with his cap, but gets launched into the air.
No, I'll finish talking about it later.
To the advertising where he shouts, "Humbug!"
Wow.
I can't say it's that bad.
Oh.
The dream I ruined 2 Christmas classics.
Wow, I'm actually surprised. We're actually nearly done with this video. I mean, again, considering the story itself is not really that long, considering it's just 3 ghosts that visit him to try and convince him to change and be a better person towards Christmas. But we're not going to waste any time and focus on the story's like details and synopsis. We're just going to continue on with this video and see how well it goes for Doug's sanity when it actually gets to the much darker parts of the movie. And yeah, this version had some dark stuff in it. Really, really, really dark stuff. I probably creeped some of you out going that close, but anyway.
Scrooge is approached by the ghost of Christmas present.
Oh yeah, Carrie also does play this ghost.
Nitrous oxide.
Okay, a little too much there, Carrie.
To be out-weirded by Lumiere's equivalent of Freddy Krueger, but this half-baked and living color character sure is coming close.
Jeez, calm down.
Can I go now?
Okay, yes. his
Yes, you can,
acting
Homer.
is really
You can.
awkward here, but there are some legit great moments. Firstly, the way they travel is extremely unique. They stay in the house, and it appears to
It is a
fly
pretty
while
cool
they look
shot.
down to the floor. That doesn't sound like that would work, but the camera movement, the animation, and even the music really make it a one-of-a-kind experience.
Yeah, it's the... Since this is a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas song.
Another one of my favorite all-time Christmas Carol moments was experiencing this in IMAX and 3D. I'm really not kidding when I say
yeah.
it looked phenomenal.
If you ever have a
If
local
you
like
ever did that
IMAX
when
theater
you're
and
good,
watch
I'd see
ever
it
watch
opening
this
night. The
movie
moment really
in
was
IMAX and 3D, it was
It's a dramatic
spectacular.
moment. Does this character okay?
Their deeds of ill will and selfishness at our day charge their doings to them, not us.
And again, I love feeding into the idea that these ghosts are kind of versions of him when he literally turns into him saying his own lines back to him.
If he is to die, he had better
do it and decrease
And decrease the surplus population.
Everything else is pretty by the numbers. The Cratchits are poor but happy, Tiny Tim looks sickly but hopeful, and everyone at Fred's party makes fun of Scrooge. They're not bad scenes, they're just what we've seen in a million other versions. But here's something new that's pretty insane. The ghost starts to fade and he shows
yeah,
Scrooge the
this
forgotten
moment.
children of man, ignorance and want. Okay, that's in the original, but it is not in this crazy-ass way.
Are there no prisons?
Are there no workhouses?
Wow.
This is a scene from
Yeah, like I
Krampus,
said,
or a
dark
horror
stuff.
film parody of A Christmas Carol. Yeah, I think I just gave them their next one. Okay, Billy, you can stop.
Well, thank you
fighting
for
over
that,
this scene.
Doug.
Christmas Carol can't be scary longer than. What issues are you working through, Zemeckis? Don't worry, the scary.
Oh,
part
yeah,
of the
we're
film
not
starts
done.
now.
The final
Right?
ghost.
Wasn't this so well balanced out? Carrie plays the third ghost as well, which is kind of pointless seeing how he's just a shadow, but whatever, it's not a big deal. But as I know,
That
a
is
lot
actually
of
something
critics
I
have
didn't
pointed
know,
out,
that
we get
the
a
third ghost was
totally
played by
pointless
Carrie. What
action
the heck?
sequence. He suddenly starts chasing him for a good long while just to show off some flashy effects that now look like a Christmas version of Death.
Yeah, not the best kind of scene to pause on, honestly. Yikes. But yeah, it was a chase scene that apparently lasted 5 minutes, surprisingly. Didn't really need to happen. I'll be honest with that. That didn't really need to happen. I guess it was just supposed to freak Scrooge out just to get him to the next story segment. But you could have done that easily just by being creepy final ghost. Seriously. Or Ghost of Christmas Future.
Luckily, when the story returns, it does get back to form. Much of Christmas Future is as you've seen in other versions, but we are given by far the best scene in the entire movie and easily one of the best moments of any Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah, this actually was a sad
When it's
scene right
revealed that
here.
Tiny Tim did in fact die, Cratchit tries to keep it together and walks away from his family. He stops right in front of Scrooge, having no idea he's there, and lets out all his
Oh,
unfiltered
wow,
sadness.
poor Bob.
Holy shit, is that brilliant. Scrooge has nowhere to turn. He has to look at this raw emotion straight in his eyes. And because Bob has no idea he's there...
That is the
he's
face
letting
of a
out
broken
his
and defeated
deepest
man,
sorrow
ladies
for
and
what
gentlemen.
he thinks is no one to see. Standing ovation, a million chef's kisses. This scene alone justifies this film's existence.
Ugh.
The following again is pretty standard. He sees his grave, vows to change, and
Uh-huh,
scary
yep.
music plays.
I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it on the air.
The one thing they do that's kind of fun is the shadow gets more and more three-dimensional as his time nears its
That
end.
actually
Like the future
is a
becoming
surprise.
more
I
real
never
the
really
longer
noticed that. I
it
thought it was
keeps
just like a
going
cool
on.
3D
Again,
effect.
there are some clever
But it's
ideas.
actually kind of cool.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Mrs.
Comes
Dilber!
home though and discovers it's Christmas Day. Again, it's all pretty standard except for the maid thinking he's gone mad. That legit got a good laugh out of me.
Next year we must have this dinner at my house. I insist.
And
Just
what's
as
more,
long as
it'd
you
be so
ignore the
easy for
ghosts that are
Carrie to
there.
Go too big here, but he gives the proper amount needed. I buy it.
And Scrooge was better than his word.
Oh, wow.
Did all that he said.
Yeah, I forgot
Hey, were
about
we
that.
reading a book?
That
Was
instantly
Bob
Bob
Cratchit
becomes the
Charles Dickens the whole
narrator of the
time?
story.
What are the
That was a really
rules?
weird change. Also, I forgot to mention this. Hilly ho,
I do
Bob!
love that his movement from right to left slowly wipes to the future where we see Scrooge with Tim saying the final line. It's a tiny touch, but I love little moments like that.
God bless us, everyone.
You said it, Tim.
And even though I can't say the big picture works, the little moments do go a long way. This Christmas Carol is sloppily ambitious. Of course the story is dark, but it focuses way too much on that, giving us little time to appreciate
Yeah.
the joyful moments in Lust for Life.
You could
Which
just
is
basically
ultimately
say
the
it's
story's
one of
goal. It's
Disney's,
not
like,
a grown-up parody
darkest
Scrooge does.
adaptations of
It clearly
something.
wants to be the best one without understanding.
Then
what
again, there
just
was
makes
another
a
movie
good
that
one
came
movie.
out, like,
But yes,
many,
the
many
ideas
years
and
ago that was a
executions
dark
do
adaptation of a
really
book.
work and are incredibly clever
And it
emotional.
got it right.
I'd be lying though if I didn't say the majority of the time I was.
Oh, gosh.
That handled a lot of these scenes.
Lots of phlegm today,
So,
guys.
yeah, it is a little hard to give a final word on it. If you're sick of the story and seeing it everywhere, I don't think this is gonna win you over. But if you're a diehard fan like I am, I think you'll appreciate the moments that really do land in it. And, at the very least, be fascinated by the ones that don't. Yes, it's awkward, but if you know the story so well you don't mind sitting through a bit of that, you just might find enough special moments. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Alright, there you have it, guys. That was my reaction to Nostalgia Critic's review of Disney's A Christmas Carol, and I can't breathe in too much or else it just gets phlegm to come up my throat. But yeah, I actually forgot that the movie came out in 2009. That is crazy. But yeah, is it a bad movie? I was about to say, is it a bad movie? Not really. No, it's not a bad movie. It is a very strange adaptation of it. I think I would agree with Doug that it would be more fun if it was like, 2D animation and then, Carrie could lend his voice even more. But I guess the director went with what he wanted to envision for the movie. So, it makes sense. I'm not going to try to talk too much because my nose is stuffed up and it's messing with my voice crazy. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to never miss a video. Yeah, it's a lot of coughing today, basically. Anyway, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye! And, of course, Happy New Year to you all.